Hey, so I thought I'd make a quick video about being slow and productive rather than trying to join this rat race that we all think we're in terms of like getting loads done, reading everything double speed, audiobooks double speed all the time, tasks, all that kind of productivity nonsense. I think it can really be nonsense. I've fallen trapped to it for sure, but I've come to find that taking it slow is actually more powerful, more sustainable, and is going to keep you happier and better rested and actually more able to be productive rather than constantly rushing. Hi, my name is Marios. I'm a counselling psychology doctoral student living in London, and on this channel we talk about psychology, mental health, and anything I think you might find interesting or useful. Remember, nothing you see on social media is a replacement for therapy. I just started reading a book called Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. I haven't finished it. Once I have, I will do a review on it and maybe summarize what I learned from it. But I thought before I get too into the book, I would reflect on how my relationship with productivity has changed over the years. And I'd say most recently, let's say in the past year or two, I've really come to appreciate that it's not all about getting more done. We think that, we have to jam as much material, as many tasks, as many accomplishments in a day as possible, and only that way we can feel good. And I think that it ignores a lot. It doesn't take into account a lot of things. For example, how much energy you have on that day, what kinds of tasks need to be done versus what just nice to be done, and what's meaningful. That's a huge missing element, I think, from people as they develop productivity systems they're good systems, they're functional, they get things done, like GTD, getting things done, that system. It's really useful if you've already decided all of the really meaningful things in your life first, and then the system is there just to make sure that you're making progress in those meaningful things. But because we end up doing this speed thing, I think that we end up ignoring what is meaningful, and we just end up doing volume. We just end up doing more, what we expect from ourselves, or maybe what others expect from us. But we don't reflect often on, hey, do I care about this? Is this still meaningful? And that doesn't mean, oh, I enjoy every single moment of every task. Because of course, even stuff that's meaningful, there's going to be moments where you're like, I can't be bothered to do this, I don't want to do this, it's painful or whatever. There's going to be lots of stuff that's meaningful that's going to be hard to do. And so you do have to have a system that's going to help you get through those moments. But I think now we've just decided, well, we're just going to try and make everything happen more easily and assume that everything that's difficult we make easier by doing more productivity systems is going to make things more meaningful. And I don't think that's the case. I think what we're doing is just making things go through this kind of funnel of how do I do it? How do I do the most? And it's never like, what is the next thing that's going to unfold for me? What do I want to give myself to in the next week, in the next month or year? And instead it's like tick boxing. When we have a checklist, and to be fair, I still do that, so I'm not demonizing the practices. I think it's more the approach of being slow, being okay with being slow. It's not all about just getting as much done in the smallest amount of time as possible. Unless you've already decided, well, you know what, this is incredibly meaningful, and yes, I want to give my whole self to this and give loads of energy to it, then sure, just create loads of systems that will help you do things quickly and effectively to make sure that you get to your goal faster. But the majority of people, I would say, and I was certainly in that category, just wanted to get more done for the sake of saying that I got more done. And that is the problem. So I think the more you can tell yourself, hey, it's not about the amount, it's about the quality of the things that I do. That is more important. I think we'd be able to funnel a lot more of our energy into things that matter instead of into things that are just nice to see that there was a long list of things I did today to fill up the time. Now, I haven't completely decided we have to be slow all the time or, systems are distracting or whatever, but I have found myself creating systems, the whole second brain movement more recently, people like collecting information and organizing it in a way that's useful for later to take action on, is great. There's so much potential there. I think what it does though, because of the principle, which is the principle is to collect, do more, be more. And it's just like what is never enough, what is never enough. And so I think with the slow approach, I think it is more about this is enough. I'm enough. This single priority for me today is enough. And I hear some people, and I hear myself, like I'm almost talking to myself here before I had this realization. Being slow does not mean you're being lazy, because if you're able to dedicate more energy and be happier in the process of doing things that are actually meaningful versus things that are a nice list to look at to say, look at all the things I did today. It's so much better just to be focused on quality, on the one thing that is genuinely meaningful. Now, if you've done that one thing and you want to fill your day with something, then go ahead and create your list. That it's not really the list itself, it's more the attitude of quick, get more done. I used the example earlier of watching videos in double speed or audiobooks in double speed. Now, I'll say I do that to a certain degree, but I will say that there's a problem with that too, because it's like, the point of listening to this is not to enjoy it and not to let the messages from this book or from this video sit with me for a bit and just kind of reflect on it as you go along. See what it brings up for you. Oh, this reminds me of this time and I agree with this, I don't agree with that. All that kind of stuff. You can't do that when it's double or 4 times the speed of what you're supposed to be listening or watching it, because you're kind of like just trying to keep up. But then people are like, oh yeah, but I finished the book half the time. Or, you know, I watched this video super quickly. I was like, okay, so well done. Would you do that with a film that you really enjoy, or a series that you enjoy? You know, imagine your favorite series. Would you watch that at double the speed? I would be very concerned if you said yes, because that couldn't be your favorite series or film at the same time as you wanting to watch it at double the speed. Because even new ones, you know, new episodes of a series that you really enjoy. So at least it's not about doing the same thing again. You're not going to enjoy it in the same way. You're not able to relax into the speed of it. So it's always about more, next. How can we get it done in as little time as possible? So that's kind of my point. And I would kind of stick with that last bit if you were going to think about this going forwards in terms of what I've said in this video is, would you watch a new episode of a series you love at double speed? If the answer is no, ask yourself why, and then look at that why, and then look at your whole productivity system, look at the way that you manage yourself and your tasks and your priorities, and think, why don't I want to do it here? Or if I do want to do it at double the speed, why is it important for me to do it double the speed for this? Right? If it's just to get more done, that is not a great reason, in my opinion. If it's to get more done on things that are meaningful because you want to make the most of your time, that's different. So it's not one or the other. I'm just saying, overall, we need a little bit more slow energy in our lives. Cool. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Look after yourself.